The Danbury Hatters and the Ridgefield Tigers have come together to collaborate on a very powerful event that will take place on Saturday, January 28th at the O'Neill Center in Westcon. It will be a basketball game, both boys and girls, and it will be to honor the late great Officer Bob DiNardo. The money raised from the event will go to cancer research, and I had the honor of sitting down with all four coaches, Coach Casey, Coach DiNardo, Coach Rob, and Coach Drew, to talk about the significance of not just the game, but the cause that they're doing it for. We have a very special event that is coming up in just about a week where we will be honoring the late, great Bob DiNardo with a basketball game of Ridgefield versus Danbury, both girls and boys. Coach DiNardo, tell me, just hearing that, right, how we're going to be honoring your late, great husband, how does that sound, and what are you most looking forward to in that event?
Well, it sounds great. We've been honoring him every year since he passed 13 years ago, and he died of cancer. And he was he was my JV coach. He was here over 20 years, and so the minute we got married, he was involved in basketball and kids, and he was a school resource officer at Broadview Middle School. His whole life was given back to kids. So this is to hear this, and we finally getting to pull this off. It's a great feeling, and it's great that we have Ridgefield that's going to do this with us. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I mean, Ridgefield, thank you guys for being a part of this. I know this is a rivalry, right? I am a Danbury High School alumni, and I remember we always hated Ridgefield. So for you guys to come together for a cause like this, I think it's important. You're facing off versus Coach DiNardo. How is it going to be, to be a part of such a significant event?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Coach for about 10 years since I started coaching in Connecticut, and I think the special thing is not just the relationship that her and I have built, but that we always seem to play in the Bob DiNardo game that honored cancer prior to this event. And then last year when we were able to kind of organize this doubleheader, and obviously the pandemic affected it a little bit, but now to really be able to celebrate both the girls and boys from each town's accomplishments and their hard work, and we see these kids through the off season, both programs kind of working together. There's just this mutual respect where, yeah, of course you want to win the game, but when you take a step back and realize, the impact that Coach DiNardo's husband had on his community and the impact that each of these programs have on one another to really help each other get better and prepare for the rest of the season. It's pretty powerful stuff, so we're honored to be a part of it, excited that it's going to bring two great local communities together and to honor a man who had such a profound impact on the people he touched. So,
yeah, I mean, Coach Casey, I come to you. I mean, we're both, we're Danburyans, and we've both had encounters and been impacted by Coach DiNardo. What are you thinking about as you guys go into this game and just the overall event of bringing the awareness to honor him?
Yeah, I mean, to have the boys be able to play on this day is special, because for me, it's not Coach DiNardo, it was Officer DiNardo first, because he was my DARE teacher in Broadview. So, in Danbury, DiNardo rings out. If it was Bobby, if it was Coach, or if it was Officer. So for me, at first, it was Officer DiNardo, my DARE teacher. So for me to be able to honor him is really special. Then when I got to the high school, he was always a mentor, always pulled me aside, Casey, how's it going? And then when I was Westcon and, when I was an adult, I would see him and he would always pull me aside and make sure everything was good. He admired how I played and everything else. So for me, it's really special because he was so special. Just so many kids. Like, nobody has a bad thing to say about him. So Officer, Bobby, or Coach, he was ingrained in the Danbury community.
Coach Drew, this may be a little bit of a twist here. What is it like preparing for something like this? Like, is it business as usual, or is it, are you a little bit on the softer side on your team, knowing that the cause is more than basketball? Or
Yeah, I think for the community, I think all of that kind of applies. I think for the for the four basketball teams, like Rob said, there's definitely a mutual respect between when we play each other all summer, all fall. I think on the boys' side, like there's been the last 5 or 6 championships have either been Danbury or Ridgefield, and so there's just a lot of. I think we know each other really well. They know all of us, we know all of them. I'm just gathering some of the, how special this is to Jackie and Casey. kind of background information that I didn't have before. So it's just we've been trying to get this doubleheader together for a couple years, and with COVID, it's finally going to get to WestCon. We're really excited about it, and again, I think both communities, you know, in a rivalry or whatever, like, it's a basketball game. So, you know, as long as we get a lot of people there, I think it'll be these games even in the high school gyms are a great atmosphere. So I think it'll be a fun experience for everybody on, you know, next Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, even when we think about, you know, honoring Coach DiNardo or Officer DiNardo, and we're honoring, you know, the basketball, the girls and boys team. When we think about the point of this event is for cancer, like, we're trying to raise cancer research and, like, awareness of it. We've all, I'm sure in some way, unfortunately, have been impacted by cancer, whether it's close relatives or friends, whatever it may be. Why is it so significant that we continue to push the narrative to find a cure for this thing so that we could stop, you know, whatever it is that's causing cancer or from taking our loved ones?
No, it was funny when I was coming over here, I was thinking, you know, it was my grandfather I lost first. And it was just a kid, and it was something that scared me my whole life. And then to marry, and see, now I could get emotional, that's why it's hard, but then to marry somebody and to lose them, you know, and it makes, and then your life impacted so much that you want a cure, because you don't want to wake up one day and you be the one sick, or wake up one day and it's your child. And so it's a scary disease out there that has impacted, you said it, everybody's life. And it just, we need to find a cure. We need HIV. I mean, how scary was that when we were doing it, you know? And it's amazing now people are living 20 and 30 years with that disease. Why is cancer still controlling our lives? And so the research is really, really important. And the money to help them to find a cure, I think, is just like, it has to be done. It has to be done.
Rob and Drew, you're talking to your Ridgefield school right now, your community, and you want them to come out to this event to not only be a part of a great basketball games, but to support the cause of raising cancer awareness for cancer research. What is your message to them right now?
Yeah, I think it's about certainly raising awareness, but a reminder of the great memories and times that you had with the people who were so important to you that we may have lost due to cancer. So it's a celebration too, right? A celebration of 4 really proud programs, you know, young adult student athletes who are really ingrained and in touch with, you know, things that go beyond just what's going to happen on the floor. So I think it's a great reminder of four programs, hard work, and really the intentionality of, hey, let's remind ourselves how special some of these people that we've lost were, and continue to raise awareness so that we can mitigate, you know, potential loss in the future, like Coach said. So.
Yeah, I would just jump in and say, like, you know, an unfortunate circumstance or reason is bringing a community together in a positive way. So I think any way that you can do that, especially like you see some of the things that are going on in some of these high school games, I just think this will be another way to kind of build the two communities together. Like, yes, we're competing against each other, but, like, you know, we can raise awareness for together, regardless of, you know, like, what's going on the actual court.
Coach Casey, you're very touched. I can tell by, you know, Ms. DiNardo speaking about Coach Bob and her, you know, losing relatives. What is your overall sentiment, basically, like, you want to share with your players going into this game? Because, you know, we know they want to win, but how are you sending a deeper message to them going into this game next Saturday?
Yeah, I think we get caught up in the season in basketball with emotions and everything else, but there's a lot of things that are bigger than basketball, you know, and hopefully we use basketball to drive kids to become better people and to play for a cause. And, you know, we always want our kids to play for something bigger than themselves. And, you know, playing for cancer research is a lot bigger than yourself. So I think just to get the idea of it's going to be a great basketball game against 2 well-coached teams, very good teams, but then there's something bigger than the basketball game that we're supporting. So I think the main message is, let's have fun, let's have a great basketball game, but understand there's definitely things bigger than basketball.
I just have one thing. I think the other great part about this is that I didn't get a chance to see my son play a lot because I coached basketball, and if I was on the road, he was home. And even like last night, coming home from Brian McMahon and trying to catch the last quarter of the boys' game, to actually have a game where the girls are playing and the guys, we did that 37 years ago when I started, but now to see it and to be able to sit there and watch the guys, and the guys support us, and it really is a great feeling that we're going to be able to have that kind of game. So that's also very special. So I'm glad that we're doing that for that too.
See you guys next Saturday at the O'Neill Center, WestCon, and let's do this. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're welcome.